Brown's neighborhood. We got James back up in here. He been running for a while, but I finally caught him. I put a trap out for him and got him back up in here. You know, he be so busy, you know, trying to make a dollar, you know what I'm saying? Since Trump done got to town, you know, we got to get all we can get because he going to take it if we don't get it.
That's right. He ain't gonna let us keep it.
You understand what I'm saying? So I want to get to know a little bit more about James because he got an interesting story.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? How many people was in your family, James?
7 of us.
7 of us. Where you at?
I'm the oldest.
See, that's where it started right there. The oldest.
Yep.
The leader.
Yep, they call me daddy. Okay.
James, tell the truth.
They don't call me daddy. Monty called me daddy.
Who?
Monty.
Oh,
She
okay.
say-
Well, you know.
She say James over there acting like daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, hey, when you the oldest, if the daddy ain't around,
That's me.
then you know you got to be the male figure that sets the tone.
Yeah.
So, where you grew up, James? What area?
We grew up pretty much close to us, like Central. We grew up on like Central and like, you know where Firestone at? Central by Firestone. You know how Manchester turned into Firestone?
Yeah.
Right in that area.
Is that right?
That's where we grew up at.
Wow. That wasn't too far from me then. You know, because I think Manchester changed when you cross Central, I think.
Right.
If not
I think,
Central,
Hooper, one of them.
Hooper. It's one of them two.
right.
Then it turned to Firestone. Well, what elementary was that?
You know that elementary right across the street, right on. You going to? It's right when you cross Hooper. Is elementary on this side of the street on to your left. Little elementary school right there, and then I guess they got that little high school down the street or junior high on Compton Avenue.
Russell?
I don't know what school it was, but I know it's another school.
Russell's the only one close to Manchester.
But it was another school right when you cross Hooper. You got a few little businesses, and then there's a school, and there's an elementary
Russell.
school. Oh, what's the other school down there? Compton Avenue and Firestone.
Drew?
Okay, that's Drew. Okay, that's the high school then.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
yeah.
junior high.
That's just a little school. I went to that school. I remember they had some major. What it was? It was like some kind of little. It wasn't like the pandemic or something that everybody had to get a shot.
Well, they was giving them shots out
Yeah.
there, and that one that leave a mark on your arm forever.
Right. Yeah.
Well, James must have been so bad he don't even know what the name of the elementary is.
Yeah, that's how
Well, do
bad
you
I
remember
was.
the junior high?
Well, I didn't go to junior high over there. I was a little kid. I was probably third. I want to say probably second, third grade.
James, wait a minute now. You have to know the junior high school.
Well, I know what junior high school I went to, but
What junior high you went
I
to?
went to Bret Hart.
So y'all had to move back
Yeah, we moved back. Yeah, we was
to the west side.
We was movers. We moved all over. I hated that. I hated that. My mama boy had us moving here, there. Oh, we moved all over. I couldn't stand that. Oh man, I remember the last time we really moved. We went to Long Beach.
Is that right?
We moved all the way to Long Beach.
So let's check this out. Let's say, did you ever get in trouble in elementary?
Well, yeah,
Don't
you know, we
say
all
you got in
get-
trouble in elementary, James,
Oh, yeah.
because you don't get in trouble in elementary, do you?
I was a different kid. Yeah, I was different. I was loved, but I was different. Okay.
Wow.
The teachers say, "Hey, I wasn't that great,
You wasn't?
but they loved me." Okay. I wasn't
Well,
that great.
I'm gonna say this. Now I wasn't bad, but I did ditch. I just went back home. I didn't know nothing about no ditching, but you know my parents would go to work,
Right.
and I'd be watching Hercules and all these things on TV, and then I had to leave it and go to school. Everybody walking to school, right? But I got to that gate. I just turned back around and walked all the way back home. I did it for about 4 days, and boy, my daddy caught me. I thought I was gonna get killed.
I know you did.
You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't whoop you regularly.
That's right.
You know, I mean,
It knocked you out.
Boy, Jay, they wasn't regular whoopings. We wasn't regular kids.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So let's just make it that like that. So what kind of trouble could you be getting in elementary?
Oh man, I was a little guy that run under the counter. Okay.
Well, yeah, you can believe that because he ain't that tall now. Who's after you? How old are you older than Timoteo?
Oh, I'm probably about I'm 2 years older than Timoteo.
What about your other brother?
I got my sister.
You got your
my
sister.
She's 61.
So after your sister,
Then Timoteo.
and then,
Who was it? Betsy. That's the one that passed.
okay, Bessie, then
Ty.
Ty. So it was girl, boy, girl. I mean, boy, girl, boy, girl.
Yeah.
Boy,
like
you
that.
know. Okay, but then it was 7 of you.
Yeah.
Wow. So now you went to Bret Hart.
Went to Bret Hart.
Bret Hart was tough.
Yeah, it was tough.
Did you gang bang?
No, I didn't do no gang bang. No.
You was a little bitty dude, Jay.
Yeah, gang banging.
But were you bad?
I was, I was this school. I was bad, but my bad was the other bad. You know what
Well,
I'm
you
saying?
got to tell me what kind of bad it was.
My bad was the money.
At Bret Hart?
Oh yeah, I was always just. I didn't see no sense in gang banging. It didn't make no money. You know what I'm saying?
Jay, so you at Bret Hart.
Uh-huh.
What could you do at Bret Hart?
Oh man, you don't know what you can do. Like you said, let
didn't
me
do
say
too
this.
much.
Watch this. You would go, how you would walk to the gate and turn around. You know what I would do?
That was in elementary.
Okay, but I'm talking about this. I'm talking about junior high now.
Yeah, junior.
I walk to the gate, walk in, look around, get to class, and when the bell rang, ding, 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 everybody leave. I stay there. The teacher purse over there. I go give me some of that teacher's purse.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's how I was getting my money. Okay, I go get the teacher's purse.
Is that right?
Oh yes, she lock it up, and I go in there and get it. That's what I would do.
You ain't never get caught?
No, never got caught. Never got caught. Never got caught.
Is that right?
Never got caught.
So, did you ever go to any, when kids is bad? So, you made it out of Bret Hart, okay?
I made it out. Well, what I did, we moved to, where did we go? Yeah, we moved to Inglewood. And then I went to school over in Inglewood. I went to junior high in Inglewood.
Oh, there's another junior high over there by Morningside?
Well, no, I take that back. I went to juvenile hall for a little while.
See, now, how you not going to remember you went to juvenile hall? At how old?
I was probably about 6th, 7th grade. That's how bad I was. I wasn't nothing to be played with when it came down to getting what I wanted. You know what I'm saying?
6th or 7th grade?
6th, 7th grade. Oh yeah, I went to juvenile hall at that young age. Oh yeah, that wasn't.
For what?
I'm stealing. I'm stealing. I'm a cold
you was
piece of work.
So you knew how to steal.
Well, I mean, I took it. I don't know if you remember the movie, the Alexander the Thief. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
He was a cold thief, and I wanted to be just like him. Cold thief.
So you were stealing.
Oh, I was.
And they sent you to juvenile hall?
Oh, they sent me to juvenile hall. I mean, and you know what? I went to court one day. This was a little bit down the road. They say, "Why you doing what you're doing?" I said, "Well, because that's what I want to do." I got the white boy say, "But this nigga must be crazy." And the white boy told the other white boy, "I think we need to lock him up." Okay. So they locked me up. You know what I'm saying? But I was in juvenile. They say, "This thing is crazy. He got to be taught a lesson."
So you went at a young kid. Did you go back again?
Oh yeah, I went a few times. I had went to all the little juvenile halls in our area.
Let me say this. James is a successful businessman today. So we want to let people know it is a way out.
Oh, yeah, it's
now,
a way
we
out.
going to figure that one out on the way. But
It's a
right
way
now,
out. But
we go, no, don't you rush through all of this,
All right.
because he said juvenile hall, but you know what juvenile hall is? Juvenile hall is jail. It's a kids jail.
Yeah, kids,
Kids jail. So don't get it where, people say, oh, he went to juvenile hall. Man, juvenile hall, I don't know how it was then, but it's very bad today. So you went, man, this is just amazing. I mean, when I was 12, I was just trying to make the football team.
Yeah, well, I was pretty grown. I was at 12 years old. I already knew what I wanted. I just had to figure out how to get it. And I could say I went to school, that didn't teach me what I wanted to get.
So now you get to high school. You remember going to high school?
Oh, yeah. I graduated high school.
You did? But okay, when you got to the high school in the 10th grade, where did you go?
I went to Lenox High. That was after I got out of juvenile hall.
So you went over
Well,
there
after I got out of camp. I got out of camp. See, I went from juvenile hall, they got a camp, too, that you go to.
So you went from juvenile hall to camp.
Yeah. But, I mean, it didn't go just like that. I had to get out, do a few wrong things, and then they said, well, this guy.
Do you want to expose any of those other wrong things besides stealing?
Well, that's all I did.
Did you steal cars?
Did that, too. Oh, yeah, I graduated to that. I went from burglary, and then after that,
you were breaking people's house?
Yeah, I was breaking people's house.
God, damn. For real?
Oh, man. But I always hung out with older kids, older guys.
Oh, okay.
So I was always the little guy, and I'm
easy to get in.
Yeah, and I'm down to do anything and I know how to burn rubber.
What do you mean burn rubber?
When things happen that don't supposed to happen, I know how to get out the way.
And how would you do that?
I had feet. Okay.
Were you fast?
Oh man, fast. I mean, I was like that fast. Okay. Oh man, they come to me and I was a shaker. You come there, the police would come at me, and I just shake them. Just like that, just cold shake them. Okay.
And we got to understand, back then, people used to run from the police.
Oh yeah.
Now it's different. They lie to shoot you today. Yeah. But back then, people ran from the police. I got a buddy named Punchy. He run all the time because he was fast.
Yeah.
So when he talk about running, they ran then. So you was running from the police.
Oh man, that was kind of the thing to do.
Right.
I mean, if they came, talking about come here. What? You talking to me? Okay, let me show you something. Okay.
So now went to high school and you end up going to juvenile hall.
Yeah, I went to juvenile hall.
So we wanna make sure we put on the record.
Okay.
You stole at the school.
Yep.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
You broke in houses.
Yeah, I did that too.
You stole cars.
Well, let's back it up a little bit. We got into a little bit of guns. We had guns.
At what age?
I mean, I had a gun. I probably was in the fifth, sixth grade. I had me a pistol.
James.
I had the nerve to have a little sack too, weed sack. I had a little nerve to
in elementary.
Yeah, I told you I was a different guy. I was looking for the money, and that's where all the money was.
I mean, so you was like,
I was a grown man.
5 years ahead of me, like maybe 6.
Way ahead, man.
For real.
Oh, yeah. I was hanging with guys, probably 18, 19. And here I'm elementary school.
Is that right?
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had to take a breath on that one. My God.
Oh, yeah. I was doing grown things real early.
You need to thank God then for saving you through all of that. I mean, sometimes we don't know what could become. So now you in high school, you getting in trouble, you done all of that.
Done a lot of that.
And so at what age did you say enough of that?
Well, I figured out I wasn't that great at it. So I said, you know what? I like cars.
You wasn't great at stealing?
Oh, no, I wasn't that good because, I'll get caught. I probably get away with a lot of it, but, it only take one or two to get caught.
Right.
So it's like it don't.
And so now you're doing time.
Yeah, I'm doing, a little time. But you know what? What's so cool about it? It was fun time. When I was in juvenile hall, it was probably one of the best times of my life. I was serious. My mama just loved me to death. You know what I'm saying? I would, I'd be in juvenile hall. Mama come visit me. McDonald's was going on then.
Right.
Bring me in Big Mac and some French fries and soda. You know what I'm saying? Then my mama sit there and talk.
Oh,
you know what
wow.
I'm saying? Oh yeah, Mama, she made it real easy. I mean, she made it where I missed home for a minute.
Right.
But after that, you get used to it. I mean, because you can't go nowhere.
Well, and that's very true.
But you could run away. I could have ran away, but I'm
You
not
go
gonna
get
run
caught and come back.
There you go. You coming back.
Well, I want to let people know this. See how he say it was fun?
Oh, it's fun. It was
People
really
that was
fun.
older, that was getting in trouble, going to jail. We talking about, things that they call like YA and stuff like that. That was fun to them too. So when they would go to jail, they would get to lift weights and get all these packages and things like that. So jail wasn't hard.
No, it was
like it is today,
Yeah, I don't know
So-
how it is today, but
Well,
I hear about
James,
it.
they don't want to go today.
They don't want to go to jail.
No, no. Because back then they used to be able to smoke cigarettes, lift weights,
Right.
do all this, have all these visits and all of this kind of stuff. It was very much different then, and I just know because my brother went there. You know what I'm saying? I learned to not follow them
His
footsteps.
steps, okay.
Yeah. They was bad. One of them was badder than all the rest, And I'm gonna put his name out there, Philip Brown.
Okay.
He was just bad. He was at jail. He got pictures in jail, like it was the thing
Like
to
you
do.
do,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it was different then. So now you got tired of going.
Yeah, I got tired of going, and I knew that, I couldn't do this. I know how to do it, but I wasn't good. Like Alexander the Thief. He
Right.
wouldn't get caught. I'm getting caught. You know what I'm saying? And then I would look at all the old cats around me, and I'm like, these things, all they doing is drinking, talking this shit, gambling, and they getting old.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm looking around and say, shit, I don't want to be like that.
Right.
Oh, hell no.
So how old were you when you just knew enough was enough?
When I knew enough was enough,
And you could tell that you was making some new changes.
when I got out the last time, I was, I started working for this. First, when I got out last time, I graduated from Lenox High, and then I went to trade school.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we going to go back a little bit because you were doing all of that. Did you ever meet any girls in school?
Man, I had it cracking in school with the girls. Oh, man.
Man, look at me. Don't you get on this podcast and start lying to me.
Oh, no. Trust me.
Little as you was?
Fucking and doing everything else.
Jay.
I was doing all that. I'm telling
For
you.
real?
Oh, man, yeah. I had my own little car.
In junior high?
In junior high, yeah, I had my own car. Well, it was like high school. It was like from junior high to high, but they had both.
So in junior high, do you remember, how they would have best dress, the king and queen? You wasn't none of them.
Yeah, I wasn't none of them. That didn't pay. You know what I'm saying? That didn't pay.
Okay. But did you have a girlfriend?
Oh, I had a few girls. Did you
have a main girlfriend in junior high?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. Well, you know how when you go from 7 to 8, so it's like junior high and high.
Yeah.
I had a girlfriend when I was in elementary. No, I'll take that back. Junior high. What? Yeah, junior high. Just junior high all the way through.
What age were you when you really knew that you had a girlfriend?
Oh,
13, 14?
Yeah, about 13, maybe 14. That's when I was in junior high, just starting to go to junior high.
Okay, so do you know what her name was?
Oh yeah, you remember Jackie? You know Jackie, right?
What school was that at?
Jackie, she went to Washington.
Washington High.
Right.
And you went where?
I went to Lenox High in Lenox.
How you meet her?
Oh, I'm from my neighborhood. I got a bud. You remember, Dwayne, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she lived down the street from him. A little fine thing back then. Ooh, I ain't got no picture. I'll show you a picture. Ooh, that nigga.
So when did you meet Dwayne?
Well, we all kind of hung out. We used to call ourselves the 99th Street Hustlers.
Dwayne?
Yeah.
But
you know.
Dwayne act like a square.
He really wasn't no hustler. You know, I had to bring him all to the, you know, I kind of brought them all into what was going on. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to making money. They was used to ride
99th Street.
Yeah. You know, like 99th Street Mafia. You heard of them, right?
Yeah. Did you live by 99?
I used to live on 99th Budlong, between Budlong and Normandy.
Is that right?
Yeah, when I was in elementary school. But we wasn't no gangbang. They had the 99th Street Mafia.
Right.
We was considered. It was just three of us, but we was just hustlers. You know what I'm saying?
Dwayne as square as he can get.
Oh, them the ones that fool you, okay?
He'll fool you?
Oh yeah, them the ones that you think they nice and quiet, but the niggas they real piece of work. Okay, it's real piece of work.
Okay, so you met Jackie at what age?
I was in there. I want to say I met her pretty much in like elementary, junior
elementary?
high. Yeah, elementary high. Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you knew her before high school?
Yeah. Just about going to start when I got out of elementary going to junior.
I might shouldn't ask this question.
I did it.
You what?
I did whatever you finna say.
Okay. Shut the heck up, Jay. Let's be honest about this.
Okay. Well, I can round the paper.
When you was 13, you had sex.
Yeah. That wasn't. Well, I was fucking a long time ago, man.
But stop.
I've been screwing. Man, I was trying to do it to grown girls back then. I'm the little nigga, the little bittish nigga. The girl could have kicked me off her leg. I'm off her leg, okay? I'm like a cold dog.
Jay, listen.
Oh,
good Lord have mercy.
I'm telling you. Oh, man.
You was ahead of everybody.
Oh, man. I didn't play.
Huh?
I didn't play. I looked at grown stuff, and I did grown stuff.
Okay.
I wasn't no kid. You remember, I'm daddy. I was daddy back then. I did daddy things.
So, when you met her when you were young, when did you start going with her like a boyfriend?
Probably maybe 6th grade, 7th grade.
Yeah. What?
Well, I was doing grown up things back then.
You met Jackie at 6th grade.
Oh yeah.
And you was a girlfriend.
Yeah. All the way through high school.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All the way through high school?
Yeah. Me and her went to high school prom. We went over there on Legacy and I think it was the Hilton on one of the dock floors. You know what I'm saying?
So you know, man. So you've been knowing her all your life.
All my life. That's right. She part of the story.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
See, now if Brown's neighborhood didn't exist, I would have just thought she was a girl that just worked at the shop, helped out, and that was it.
She was there when we moved there. I was there when we moved when we bought the shop. I mean, when we rented it first, and then we ended up buying it.
She was around.
Mm-hmm. Yep, she was around.
So, were you going with her then?
Yeah.
So you've been going with her a long time.
Yeah. Time went by so fast.
Okay.
So fast.
Okay. So let me. When you graduated from school, when did you get into upholstery and stuff like that?
I graduated in 1980, and I went to trade school first for auto body and paint. Well, now I take it back for paint, just to be a painter. And I did that for only probably maybe.
What trade school was this?
Southern Regional Occupational Center.
Where was that located?
In Torrance.
In Torrance?
Torrance, right? Torrance by Sepulveda. Called Southern Regional Occupational Center. Went there.
So what gave you a mind to go to that? Well,
I was always messing with cars. We were messing with cars.
So who told you about that occupational center?
Oh, the school, when I went to school.
At
our
school.
Right? That was like a trade school. And it was a trade school where you get busted. Just like this trade school they got over there on Jefferson. What is it? LA Trade Tech? Yeah, just like that. But more, it was a nice one. So real nice one.
Well,
and
they sure. So they told you about it.
Yeah.
And you said, well, I'm not going to college. Let me go on over here to the trade.
Well, I tried to go to college too, but they was that I couldn't compete in there because I didn't have the noodles. I didn't have the brain. I probably play on the team, but I didn't have the brain to keep up with the classwork and all that. So I couldn't really do that, and I wasn't that. I mean, I was okay. I was pretty good. I know I could have did better, but it didn't pay.
Right. Okay. So you said, let me go to the trade school.
Yeah.
So you did end up going to the trade school.
Went to
How
trade
long did you stay over there?
I stayed over there for probably for auto paint. I stayed there for probably, it was the summer class, so it was only maybe 6-8 weeks, and I did real good. I thought I was a painter after I came up out of there.
So you changed your life.
Well, we can definitely say that, but I was still active. Okay,
You were still active.
still active, still active.
But let me ask you a question. Did you do any hustling
Yes,
once you got out of high school?
yes.
Were you a good hustler?
I consider myself a good hustler, but I knew that.
Listen,
Okay.
a good hustler make money.
Oh, we made money, but when you say money, we didn't make that kind of money.
Well,
know what I'm saying?
well, okay.
Yeah, we wasn't making no.
Well, you ain't got to make 100,000 or nothing. But,
Well, that's what I consider money. I mean, making.
but did you make like 20 or 30,000?
No, we wasn't even making that.
Oh no, well you wasn't a good hustler.
Okay, we didn't make that. I mean, I was getting there. You know what I
Right.
was doing? I was tagging.
What do you mean by
cars.
tagging?
You're tagging cars. In other words, you
Give me an
switch the VIN-
example of what's
what you-
tagging cars.
What it is, you switch the VIN number.
You was
You
doing
go-
that
you
that
go-
young?
You go buy a car. Oh yeah, I was on the way to the assembly line. I was doing probably 4, 5, 6 until you get a stench in the game, and the stenches on you just kind of messed up the old rodeo. But I was doing 6 or 7 of them at a time. Yeah. So I had when I was in high school, I had probably about 7, 8 cars, and they were real nice. They come from a neighborhood that was had nice stuff.
And you
and we-
changed the VIN number.
Change the VIN number, sell them. Just sell
But
'em.
somebody could have killed you knowing that you sold them a wrong car.
Oh, that part wouldn't fall back on them at all. It would never fall back
They
on
wouldn't
them.
know it.
Never. I mean, because I get a good one. I mean, I get an old raggedy one, and I go get a real nice one and change the numbers, and it's my car.
Is that right?
And what's so cool about it?
So who taught you that?
I had a friend of mine. He taught me that.
older
You
guy.
know the white boy that be at the shop?
Which one?
Paul.
The one used to be there?
No, the other one is there now.
The one that I seen?
Yeah.
But you knew him then?
Oh yeah. He was right around the corner from me. Yeah,
So
his
you've
brother-
been knowing that dude a long time.
I've been knowing him since he was in elementary school.
The white boy that's over there now.
He wasn't, he's younger than me, but I was hanging around with his brother. His brother taught us that.
Wow. Okay. Man, boy, you had some stuff going on, James. Just getting you out of school.
Yeah, well, I didn't really favor school too much. It's just the only reason I probably didn't really favor it because, I couldn't. I guess I told myself I couldn't keep up, but probably the fastest thing in there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm reading, doing this, but I'm like, at that age, you really ain't knowing how valuable that is.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, exactly.
It's very valuable.
Right.
Because that's what you're gonna be doing. You're gonna have to read something. But I had just like a little memory. We would go to Orange County. All I would know how to do is say, okay, I remember that tree. I remember that sign, and that off ramp, and that corner, and that corner. And that's how I get back home. I couldn't read nothing. Okay? I couldn't read nothing.
Wow.
I just knew, little landmarks. That's all.
And
And
you
I
made it
learned that
back.
over TV.
And you made it back.
Made it back home. I always make it back home. Yeah, I'll make it back home for sure. Even if I got lost, I'll make it back home.
Well, what would you be doing out there?
That's where we take people cars. We go out there, look, driving around, seeing, oh, I like that car. Where's that? Oh, can we get it? Yeah, ain't no problem. We can get it. Oh, well, that we might have to pass on, okay?
What?
We get it. Yeah. We go out there, take it, bring it on back home, do what we do.
So thank God for saving you.
Oh, God,
I would say the same thing for my own life. I thank God for saving me.
Yeah.
So we don't want to act like we was all American kids when you growing up in
Yeah.
the ghetto or
man.
whatever. It's
We
just
ain't had
not
that.
the same. You know what I'm saying? So wow, but you make me like I was a crackerjack kid or something. Good Lord.
Oh, man,
I mean,
I was in the
especially in like high school.
okay.
But maybe when I got out of high school, you know what I'm saying, my motor started running a little faster. But dang, in high school, you was getting it.
Oh yeah, we was. And what's so
You
cold
had,
about
man,
it?
you had to have heart.
Well, that I did have. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you know,
And you
I know
gotta have
people
heart
won't
to get it.
understand it.
You know,
but
just-
if you out there doing something like that, man, you got to be brave as I don't know what.
I guess when the white boys say he must be crazy because he don't even think that's wrong. It was considered to me as almost a sport. You know, I wasn't killing nobody; I was just taking things. You know, but people that bought, you know, they probably took it too.
But most young kids, young teenagers, 19, 18, they didn't even know how to do a VIN number. I mean, change a VIN
Yeah,
number.
well, that was, you know, I learned that from the older guys. You know what I'm saying? And the older guys were so surprised at me. You know, they were like, "Damn, this nigga doing it better than us." You know what I'm saying? And what's so cool about it, I was a solo guy. I didn't need nobody. I just go do it by my damn self. You know what I'm saying? I go get it by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Huh?
That wouldn't be a problem. I just go do it by myself. Not too often I did that, but in some cases, when you know, especially when I had emergency, I had to do it.
Well, how you break in the car?
Oh, it just took a screwdriver, or I mean, it wasn't the vote card rule still. It's just a little screwdriver,
It
or
wasn't
not.
like today.
Oh no, it
Hard.
wasn't nothing like them. It wasn't nothing like them. It was just, you know, you pop the vent window, open it up, open the door, and get under the.
So you was doing all of that. Now you start going to the trade school.
Mm-hmm.
Were you learning anything in there?
Oh yeah, I learned everything I needed to learn, but I just wasn't mature. You know, well, I wasn't. You know, I was just a novice. I wasn't no. You know, I wasn't where I can get paid the money at. I had to just kind of get myself up the ladder.
James have done a lot of things. I mean, you know, that's just seemed like the bad part. But his life changing.
Yeah, it changed. It definitely changed. You know, and I want to say this. You know, I did what I did. You know, and then you get the age I'm at now, and you know you did what you did, and now this is what's happening, and things happen.
Right. Well,
you know,
well, when you're growing up and you really, you know, didn't have a father figure.
Right.
You growing up, you know, was single parent home, not having very much. You know what I'm saying? Your mama was sewing your clothes and things, making y'all clothes, doing all of that. A lot of times we just trying to figure a way out.
Yeah, we was trying to definitely figure a way out, and then, you know, nobody really was. I mean, we had people. I mean, I had a whole lot of people say, "James, this is what you need to be doing. You need to be, you know." But you know, when you talk about doing something, you got to be consistent. When you start doing something, if you're not consistent, you get more consistent on what you've been doing. And what had been doing, I just couldn't gather up the things that I thought, you know, that was really good for me, like reading and writing. And you know, and trying to not get in trouble,
right?
But I mean,
so at the trade school, after you done learn these trades, then what was next?
Well, after that, I went back to trade school again for the
you
upholstery.
went back?
Oh yeah, I went back. Yeah, I went back.
So what made you go back for upholstery?
I actually seen the class and I liked it. That I said,
while you was down there.
Yeah, while I was down there, I said, I'm gonna take that up. Well, I take that. Now I gotta come back a little bit. Right before I graduated, I did a 1 year in paint, and then I went to some school. And then I did upholstery, and then after that, you know, after graduation and all that, I'm out there, you know, looking for a job. Because I had just got out of camp.
So how much time did you spend in upholstery?
I spent only about 8 weeks in upholstery. I spent about a year in the paint.
So 8 weeks in upholstery.
Yeah.
Did you learn upholstery pretty good in that 8 weeks?
You know, let me tell it, yes. But you know, I was always sewing things backwards. I mean, I would try to.
So how did you become good at it?
I had to keep doing it.
But you wasn't in school no more. So what you was doing?
I was on the job then. I got my job then.
You was on the job.
When I got out of high school, when I finished them courses right there, I went down to the unemployment office. Used to be over there on Century, between La Brea and I think it's whatever.
And they found you a job?
When they found me a job.
And what was this job at?
Job right on in Lawndale, right on the corner of Redondo Beach and Hawthorne. Jew boy Camden loved the hell out of me. I don't know why he loved me. I know why he loved me. I made him a lot of money. A lot of money.
You made him a lot of money?
Oh, a lot of money.
But how did you do that?
Oh, doing upholstery. You know, I was the youngest, and they trained me. I became so fast. He was scared I was going to leave, go start my own thing, but that's what I was going to do anyway. Whatever job come in there, I make it, get it done, get it out, get him his money. I mean, he can do probably $2,000 or $3,000 with me in a day.
Is that right?
Just with me. Not talking about the other, it was 3 other ones. And they talking about slow down. I said, what the hell I'm slowing down for? This is how I work. You know, because I had a background stealing cars, so when you're stripping them, you got to be quick. You got to be real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't got no real spot. So we had to do it in spots where somebody can see you, call the police, and we had that happen several times.
Right.
So real quick. I was real quick. Oh, he loved the hell out of me. I mean, he loved the hell out of me.
So he kind of took you under his wing.
Oh, he did. He took me under his wing, but he wanted to kind of keep me stunted where I wouldn't go. But he didn't know where I was going. As soon as I figured out how to start my own thing.
How did you figure that out?
Oh, I'm out there, I'm a roamer too. I roam around looking at people, seeing what they're doing. Look, I think I can do that. Oh, I can do that a little better. You know how you say it? You look like, what's this nigga doing over here? Oh, I can do that better than that. Yeah. That ain't nothing. And that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I see I ain't do it. I can do this a little too. I say, well, he driving over there doing the upholstery work. Well, driving over there, taking the seats out, taking them to his house. I drive over there. I do it right there.
Is that right?
I do it right on the spot where everybody can see me, and I get customers at the same time, but that's how it played out. But I wasn't thinking about it. I'd say, I'm not going to be making 2 or 3 trips. I'm going to go to his spot, I'm going to do it and get it done, and then I'm going to go to the next spot. But he was going to the spot, picking up, taking it to his house. Wow. And he wasn't nowhere near as fast as me. I had to sit down with him like me and you two. I remember that day. We sit down at the mall over there, the gallery on Hawthorne, Redondo and Hawthorne.
South Bay Gallery.
Yeah. He said, James, you know what? I want to sell my business. I said, okay, well, come on, let's go talk. I remember that we went and talked, sat down, talking, and we had you remember that Philly Steakhouse? It just came out, brand new. Philly steak. He treats me to a Philly steak. Okay, I'm like, okay, and we looking, and then the news came on, flash news, live. One of the shuttles had blew up, with the white girls and all that had blew up. I remember that day well. It was that day, and I said, no, I don't want it. I said, how much you want for it? He said, well, give me $2,500. I said, that's all I had to my name. I said, no.
$2,500 for what?
For his business, because he had a business. That's what he was doing, and I just really copied him. That's what I did.
So $2,500 to rent it?
To buy the business. I was gonna buy his business. He was gonna give me a few dealers. You know what I'm saying? Like South Bay Chrysler, downtown Cadillac, one of the downtown.
But he was gonna be finished.
Oh, he was gonna be done. He's out the game. He just want to sell it to me. And I say, yeah, okay. I said, I'll think about it, but that's all I had saved up. I say, no, and I wasn't ready. I just had to hear. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm learning at the same time.
Right.
And I say, well, no, I think about it. And then probably maybe a year later, I go and do my own thing. I was 23 years old.
So when you started your own thing, how did you start it?
I got my own little van. And I had a few homeboys that, went to school together. Mm-hmm. They helped me, put my sewing machine in there, helped me build my little table with my little shelf where I put all my little material, my glue gun, all of my little tools like I got at the shop, I had it in my van. Little compressor. And I'm out there rolling.
Is that right?
I'm out there rolling, bro.
So how did you find the customers?
Oh, I go to the dealers. Hi, my name is James. I do upholstery work, and I can do it right here for you. You don't have to take the car nowhere. I can do it right here. I remember, getting that all together. I was getting my speech together, getting my spelling right. I didn't know how to spell, but I learned how to spell the things I needed to spell. So you don't get the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I write the insert. I'm looking dignified. But I know how to do the work. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do the work.
Wow.
I really know how to do the work. That part, that's what they really love.
Right.
I can sit there and I get it done, and I gave them a good price and I made money.
Right.
And I would just go from, I go from.
But you had enough heart to go to the dealer and say, hey.
My name is James. I say, my name is James. I'm from Little Jim and Tim's Auto Interior, and we do mobile upholstery. And
How did you come up with that name?
Oh, I just kind of came up with it, really. I put my brother and my name on it. I just came up with it. It was Little Jim and Tim Auto Interior Decorating. Mm-hmm. Everybody thought we were some kind of
decorator.
Yeah, some kind of blind company or something. But we were a drape company.
Right.
But when it was for cars, and I just went down there and I just talked to him. And I look like that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Well, I say I look like that guy that's gonna get it done, or you gonna give him a shot. You know what I'm saying? And he'll cause us a dime. If we hit, we win big. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And that's what I did. And I did that from Inglewood all the way to PV, all the way up to North Hollywood. I had customers, and they was all dealers.
Wow.
Yeah, and they franchise dealers. But
that's very inspiring to be confident.
Oh yeah. Well,
see, a lot of people don't have enough confidence in themselves to even step to it like that.
Yeah, exactly. And I got hard. I mean, when you can sit at a white boy and with a badge on, with a pistol, and talk to him, nigga, you don't do nothing to me. What you gonna do to me?
Well, who was the white boy with the pistol and the badge?
And
the police?
Yeah, the police. What you gonna do to me?
So you saying when you was talking to the police when you was younger?
Yeah, when I was younger. I don't talk to them like that now.
But I'm saying it was no fear after being able to.
That wasn't nothing.
So you wasn't scared of white folks?
Oh, no. And that's what Dwayne, all of them was so scared of white people. I said, what the hell are you scared of these white people for? I mean, really scared. Really scared. When a white boy talks to me, look like this. They don't even look the white boy in the eye. I'm looking the white boy in the eye. I don't give a,
But James, just to say this, back in the South, that's how they couldn't look him in the eye.
I know, but I ain't knowing nothing about that.
Well, you wasn't in the South either,
That's right.
But they was acting like they in the South.
Yeah, that's how it was. White boy said something, the niggas jumped to it. I'm like, I was giving them strange fingers and everything. I didn't get, man, who are you? I mean, and I didn't get whooped on too much.
Right.
Either I whooped, or if they get whooped me, I know how to run. Run, nigga, run. You know what I'm saying? I know how to do that well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't I could run. I mean, you talking about the white boy going to run me, I would have his ass with his tongue hanging out. He'd have to stop. He said, that nigga run. Let that nigga go. Okay? I mean, run. I would run the hell out their ass. I mean, run.
Huh?
And then when it came to a fence, I was just like a little rabbit. I jumped right over it. I did it with a sport. It was just like, it was really running was just the thing I knew how to really do. And I can run any terrain. I can run up to mountain.
You were strong.
Oh man, I was strong in that. I mean that's why I think I was more wild because the police come. I just know how to jet out. I turned it on.
Wow.
I never got caught. Everybody else got caught. I never get caught. I about them, come on, just follow me. Just follow me. You ain't got to be able to run that hard, but when it's time to run, yeah, I'm going to have to run. You know what I'm saying? If you get caught, that's on you, but I can run.
So now you done learned to do all this upholstery work. You done learn how to deal with the, we'll say white folks.
Yeah.
You was making some money.
Yeah, make some money.
How did you come into getting the shop?
Well, when we first did the business, when I first started in the first year, we made $100K first year. That's what we had in the bank first year.
Is that in the van?
Yeah, in the van. That's what we made $100K in the van. And I did okay with it, but didn't know how to do any investment with it. So when things got a little tough, I just, went into the kitty, used it until we had to figure some other stuff out. And that was just me just having to just get back out there and just do it. But the first year I had big favor.
Is that right?
Oh, man. I had a guy at Carson Toyota. You heard of Carson Toyota, right? Yeah, I had a friend.
I had a friend named Terrell used to work out there at Carson Toyota.
Yeah, I had a buddy. He was the manager, and he just gave me. He just showed me major favor. I mean,
Giving you the work.
Giving me all the work, major favor, and that was the dealer that we did about probably 90% of our work, and it was a lot of work. And
So how did you ever find a place to do business outside of the van?
Well, we figured that we probably needed to get us a shop down. Mm-hmm. That was just some. I just I figured I try to do a little. I guess I called it. I was trying to expand a little bit.
Right.
It was cool. We got the shop right there where we at.
So how did you get that shop? I mean, how did you? Well, how did you even become to get to rent it?
Yeah, well, a friend of mine told me about it. He was a detail guy, and he was on one side, and I rented the other side.
Okay, so it was two guys renting each side.
Yeah.
So he was doing detail,
and I was doing upholstery.
So wasn't nobody painting no cars?
Yeah, it was a guy that did the body work on the other side. That was the guy that was renting to us.
Oh, the guy that rented to you was doing body work and painting.
Yeah.
Then the other detailing.
Yeah, my buddy
was the upholstery man.
Yeah, I was the upholstery man. And we did that for probably what? He got kind of crazy with Jackie one day, and Jackie told me he was talking all this stuff.
Who did that?
The guy that was renting to us. He was renting it from another guy, but he was renting to us. He was subleasing.
So Jackie was still around.
Oh yeah, Jackie was. She didn't like it, but she was buck wild. But I was about making money, and she tried, stick. She wanted to stay on the team until she figured out what she really wanted to do.
Were you buck wild?
When you say buck wild,
you the one say she buck wild.
Oh, why? The reason I say she buck wild because the young girls, they little coochies hot, just like we young, we had a sexual desire, but the man's sexual desire is more than a woman. But that nigga, she had a sexual drive probably was better, more than mine. When you show her how to, have sex,
yeah,
and you know how to get her aroused, and get her through the 4 stages. You know what I'm saying? Where the sex is like, whoa, God damn, you know what I'm saying?
So she went out exploring.
Oh yeah, that's what she did, and then she got caught up on the pipe too.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she got caught up on the pipe.
So. Yeah. She went out there and,
You know how that is.
But was she still involved with you at the time?
No, we ended up breaking up.
So when y'all broke up, then she ended up going out there.
Yeah, messing around, She liked to have fun. And girls that like to have fun at that age, I mean, you know how they came out. Mm-hmm. Especially with that crack, all of them fine as hell. And niggas, niggas was like, take this, baby, and baby turn flips for you. Oh, baby, do a magic trick.
So at that time, she was gone.
She was gone. I got me another girl.
Okay.
And another one. And another one. You know what I'm saying? Because, during these times, years are passing. You know what I'm saying? They're passing.
Yes.
And I'm not flipping them, but I'm.
So did you, when you first got married, did you buy the shop yet, or you still was just working?
Well,
renting from the guy.
Well, we ended up buying it. That's what we ended up doing, buying it. I wasn't married then. I was still single. I hadn't married probably maybe 4 or 5 years later down the line. I married this girl named Erin.
Where you meet her at?
Met her through one of my buddies. He was his girl. They was cool. And they worked together.
And he gonna hook you up.
Yeah, you know how that goes. He hooked me up, and then she had 2 kids.
2 kids already.
2 kids already. So she was just as hot as me. You know what I'm saying? Where she was only probably about maybe 7. She probably
why you think you was hot?
Well, when I say hot, I'm fucking into it. I'm doing grown things. You know what I'm saying?
well, you older now, so
yeah. But that's true. I'm older.
Right.
And she was, how old was she about? She's She probably was. I think right now she may be 50. Yeah.
Now?
Yeah. Now.
So you was about 10
Probably.
years older than her. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Well, probably not. I won't say that far old. Like, she might be a little older than that. She probably maybe 50. She was about the same age, maybe younger than Jackie. Yeah, but she had 2 kids. Hey, she had 2
Were
good
you
kids.
older than Jackie?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm only maybe 1 or 2 years. Jackie, yeah, I'm 2 years older than Jackie. She's 60.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 2 years. So she was a little younger than Jackie.
Okay, so your friend introduced you to her.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all started liking each other, and you wanted to be married.
But we got married about 5 years after that. Cause
So y'all went together for 5 years.
Yeah. Went together and she convinced me to go on and marry. I said, okay, well, she was a great help to me. Oh, the girl was good. I mean, the girl, when I say good, she kept the books, everything tight. She was on it. She was a player. She was a team player. She did that good. I mean, real good.
Was she around when you bought the shop?
Yeah, she was around. Yeah, she was around.
Were you married, though?
No, I wasn't married.
So you bought it before y'all got married?
Yeah. Then we got married and everything.
How long did you stay married?
I stayed married probably 3 years. Yeah, I stayed married about 3 years.
You went together for about 4 or 5, and then you got married for 3.
Yeah.
And what the hell happened?
Well,
No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what happened.